when you see Bremer doing tour in different parts of the world, probably things like this are things that they've looked at the streams from different parts, and they'll be like, okay, I think we are getting some rise in India at the moment, so I think we can push for India. These guys also in the entertainment industry, they tend to use data analytics, right? Like where they start to talk about probably where they are getting a lot of streams, where they are getting a lot of downloads now across the world generally. And this is what will determine where they are to go for their tour. In the fintech space, banking industry have been using data analytics, which is a subset of the data space over the years, like for 20 plus years now, even in Nigeria, where people use like the likes of Excel for financial modeling and financial analysis. So these things have been there over the time, though they didn't give it a name around like, oh, this is the data and AI space, data infrastructure, analytics and engineering. All those names are not there. The last part now, which is where I feel like Africa needs to do better, is the sports industry.
Welcome to another episode of the Data and AI Gist podcast. My name is Philip Ade-Akanbi. I have an interesting guest today to speak to us about a very interesting part of analytics that I love, and I've come to see the impact as well. The Data and AI Gist podcast is the platform for learning from executives, leaders, builders in the data and AI space in Nigeria and across Africa to equip you as a professional, an enthusiast as well in data analytics knowledge, and just to even see what is possible in this space. Thank you very much, Gift, for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you.
DataFest is an offshoot was created by Data Community Africa, which Gift co-founded. I'll let Gift introduce himself, but please, if you think this podcast would be important for anybody you know, please share with them so that they can also enjoy the knowledge shared. Gift, thank you for being here once again.
Yeah, thank you.
So who is Gift that is here with us today?
That's a nice question. In summary, I define myself as 3 C's. Will I say the 3 C's, like from the community, code, and content.
Nice. Community, code,
and content. Yeah. So that's the summary of Gift in terms of like what I owed based on what I give to people. Okay. That's just everything. So everything around me relates to people, which is the community aspects that bind the content together. And myself, I started from the software development space over the years since 2018. So that's where the code join everything together. Yeah. So that's Gift. Yeah.
And that's interesting to say because you operate in a role that is very interesting and that many people don't even know about. Gift is an AI and ML advocate. How can one become an AI and ML advocate?
Yeah, nice. So if you notice when I was describing Gifts, I mentioned community, code, and content. Actually, that's the summary of the role. Okay. So the broader perspective of the role is called developer relations.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah, that is more popular in the software space.
Yeah, so developer relations, precisely, before we move into the developer advocacy side.
Yeah.
Developer relations is a scope or a bigger body that has several roles under it.
Okay.
Yeah, when I was giving a talk at GDG DevFest Lagos, this is part of the things on AI product for developer relations. This is one of the things I highlighted. Okay. So it encapsulates roles like AI ML developer advocates now in the AI spectrum, right? We have roles like developer relations engineer. We have roles like technical community manager or program manager. And we have other roles, extended roles that based on activities like events manager and so on. And we have technical writer. Yeah, technical writer in this space now is not just limited to writing articles. Okay. So there are other things like SDKs, APIs, and documentations, right? Exactly. Like giving a breakdowns of, let me give a simple example. When you buy a TV, for example, you notice that there's usually a manual.
Yes.
It's not very common these days again, but well, like one time in Nigeria, when you get a TV, right, you see a manual on the TV on how to use the TV. Now, this time, people is not very familiar with Google, and you see people checking that, okay, when I want to set this is what I'm to do. So this is what a technical writer does for a product. So they give a simple explanation in the most simplified form of how to use this product so that users can be encouraged to continue using this product for like an delivery, right? Generally across their data and AI teams. So I'll say that's developer relations in summary. So in summary, you are like the face of the company. You take the feedback from the community and give it to the company.
I see.
And you take the product from the company and the feedback you got into to the community and create it as content.
Wonderful. Yeah. Wow. I love the intersection now. I see. That is really insightful. And I see how that comes to play regarding your expertise and even passion for community work. In your expertise and experience across these other regions in relation to Africa, how have you seen businesses adopt AI better, or has it been worse?
Yeah, I would say over the years, like AI generally, from what I know, across Africa generally got popular like 7 years ago. Like that's since 2018. That's when the AI like space exactly to come up, like upcoming in Nigeria before it became like the mainstream sort of now. And everybody is kind of talking about ChatGPT and so on. So what I've noticed over the years in Africa, there are specific industries that utilize the adoption of AI. So not like the extensive areas, right? Like mostly predictive analytics. Which is a part of machine learning. Especially the fintech space. So if you notice over the years, from companies like MoneyPoint, PiggyVest, a lot of fintech companies generally, like there are a lot of fintech companies in Africa. Fintech products in Africa is like one of the most popular and like populated space when it comes to like founders like creating these things. So as regards the fintech space precisely is one of the space that AI adoption is in Africa skyrocketed over the years. But one of the mistakes that I noticed happened from the beginning was people didn't build they didn't really know the difference between a data scientist, a data engineer, a data analyst.
So it was all called as one.
Exactly. So they expect a data scientist to do the work of a data engineer, to do the work of a data analyst, to do the work of an ML engineer. You get so that confusion, even from the HR perspective and the founder's perspective, I think confused a lot of things where they hire a data scientist and they are expecting them to do the groundwork of data engineering, which is part of the reason that brought the analytics engineering. Where a lot of data scientists and data analysts notice that they need to be that gap that they need to fill as regards maybe getting into a company and like tending to like build the data infrastructure and pipeline before they tend to bring insight from the data, whether predictive way or descriptive way. Things like this is what I feel like Africans like have been adopting AI over the years. But there are other areas definitely. I've had cases because I also had they are like data team in Marvin. I don't know if you know Marvin by Don Jazzy. Exactly. So there was one time that one of the data analyst, I think the lead data analyst was invited to, we are contemplating on inviting at DataFestAfrica. But one thing I remember I picked from the conversation is these guys also in the entertainment industry, they tend to use data analytics, right? Like where they start to talk about probably where they are getting a lot of streams, where they are getting a lot of downloads now across the world generally. And this is what will determine where they are to go for their tour in terms of,
So that's a data-backed decision in the entertainment space.
Exactly. So people tend to think, when you see maybe example like Rema doing tour in different parts of the world. Probably things like these are things that they've looked at the streams from different parts and they'll be like, I think we are getting some rise in India at the moment. So I think we can push for India. Then things like this. So these are example of entertainment and fintech. So in the fintech space also, another part that I think is interwoven in the fintech space is the banking industry. Banking industry have been using data analytics, which is a subset of the data space over the years, like for 20 plus years now, even in Nigeria, where people use like the likes of Excel for financial modeling and financial analysis. You get to just do like diagnostic analysis and descriptive analytics. Yeah, even though the predictive analytics was not very...
Yeah, it started to come up in recent time.
Yeah, recent time. But these things have been there over the time, though they didn't give it a name around like, oh, this is the data and AI space, data infrastructure, analytics, and engineering. All those names are not there. Modern data stack are not there. But they've been doing it over the years. So it evolved from all those things to what we have today. Yeah, I'll say the last part now, which is where I feel like Africa needs to do better, but probably it's not a mainstream thing. And I've worked in that industry as a data scientist. It's the sports industry. Okay. So I used to work, that was as at 2021, for a company called CBB Analytics. It's a company in California, right? So CBB means College Basketball Analytics.
Okay.
Yeah. So what we do is like a software as a service platform for like giving, telling coaches, possible players to input in the match, depending on the kind of people they want to play with. Exactly. So things like this in the Nigerian space, if you watch some international match, you notice when they want to play penalty, you notice that some keeper will look at a bottle or a paper of something, then they come back and you see that, wow, this keeper seems to be so good in penalty. So, because what they do is their pattern at which several players play their ball. Maybe you want to give a penalty to a keeper now. And because of you are human, right? There are things that you do and you don't pay attention to. Yeah. So, for example, if you want
it's like nature.
Yes, it's automatic, right? It's like, I think they call it, is it impulse? I've forgotten the exact word. Exactly. So, it's automated already in you. So, if you check this pattern at which they want to play the ball now, they play the ball in some certain side more. Yeah, so over time, if they are not paying attention to this now,
that's
this
what will typically happen.
Exactly, that's what will affect their match, and like they will tend to like maybe decide to like proceed to the next stage or not. So all these are different way of like using data analytics. So there is even like the set pieces way, like you see the likes of Arsenal, where they be like at some point they start scoring a lot of crossing and corner kick generally, because depending on their positioning and distance.
And data is working.
Yeah, data is working. Data is working because when they want to when they want to play with that team, they tend to observe how they tend to mark. Right? They tend to observe the best positioning at which you need to stay in terms of distance and everything. Yeah, there's also a part of mathematics there, right? And train them that, okay, you probably stay in this position. When you move to point A and point B, someone come in the middle. This place will be free. You get? So I think it's something around discrete mathematics and sets, right? So they locate the Kestra algorithm, like the shortest paths. So they just join them in terms of locating the point A to B distance, you get to like play the ball in or not. So several things these are ways that have been adopted, but probably Africa is still coming in this space where I know that they've adopted it a lot. Okay, to an extent was like through the Nations Cup, I noticed some players were checking some things in terms of, okay, where will they play the ball? What are the style that these people do play, but it's not something they use a lot.
So that means there's opportunities in this space.
Yeah.
Huge opportunities.
Yeah. Huge opportunities actually, because at the moment, you see clubs like, especially in like the UK, London precisely, which has one of the most popular sports like in the football space, right? You see, I currently know like a Nigerian as a data engineer lead actually.
Wow.
Exactly, lead at the moment. So it used to be 2, but I currently know 1. Yeah, in Chelsea. So I even currently know in Nigeria also, like the data operations lead. Yeah, in Manchester United also. So I'm just saying that things like this, and there are several teams like Manchester City, Liverpool, Tottenham. I'm talking about the ones I know now.
Yeah.
Even Madrid. Yeah, even though it's just coming up in that side from what I know, that they are tending to use like data analytics and AI a lot at the moment, which has been helping them. Yeah, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
If you notice, football these days is more of strategy.
Yeah.
Than compared to the days of like, you see Ronaldo,
people just,
people just play football. And it's more of, because of football is a business, like it's more business centric now than before. So before, people just want to watch football for sports and enjoy it.
Yes.
For leisure, right? Just enjoy football and watch. But now, football, the idea behind football is tilted to the business side more, where you see a lot of betting platform also where so things like this.
Awesome. As a community builder, what roles have you seen mentorship play? Let's say I've been an analyst, a data analyst in the financial space, and I want to get into the sports space. You need some form of mentorship in that regard. So as a community leader, how have you seen that come up in recent time?
Yeah, so I'll say the truth is mentorship is a big thing. Yeah, if you notice, like when we were having one-on-one conversation, and I was saying that in the African space, there are a lot of people that have been in the tech space generally for several years, but they don't really have like probably might not, let me put it like, they probably might not have solid work of experience, solid years of work of experience, right? Because everything is scattered and things are not very structured in this part of the world, right? Because everybody is just finding a way to just better their life and just improve on themselves. And it's like, oh man, or you get on your own, you're on your own. So, which is why I feel like it's good that we are adopting these things lately with the likes of several conferences from several events from like Data Science Nigeria, AI Saturday, DataFestAfrica, MLOps Community Lagos, there's this DBT Meetup Lagos, and so on, right? That is ensuring that people are getting mentored properly. For example, I started an initiative lately. So the initiative is to create a structured form of mentoring. So I've been extending my knowledge. I will not say transitioning at the moment, right? I've been extending my knowledge in the data engineering space. I've done some stuff around data engineering relating to software engineering, right? From API with Fast API and so on. But I've been extending my knowledge as specialists, right, in data engineering space. And part of the things I noted and I did was I picked several people. I actually tweeted and posted on LinkedIn that, okay, if you are maybe in the data analysis space, a data science space, software engineering space, and you are looking to extend your knowledge in data engineering or transition, right? Like just like drop maybe a tweet or
just
something. Indicate. And I gave a structure on how we'll plan on creating this. So is the idea behind this a community, but it's a small community known as a study group.
Okay.
So the aim of this study group now is to create a structure and to create better mentorship for more opportunities.
Wonderful.
Because a lot of people starting their career, including me, things are scattered everywhere.
Yes, their confusion
existed. There are a lot of that. That's part of the thing. Like that was part of what I talked about when I gave the last keynote for DataFestAfrica. That's Q4 last year.
Yeah.
That you see someone in the data analysis space and the first thing they are learning is neural network. A lot of people experience that. Especially, like I know there are some of my friends that will probably see this video and they will smile. Especially in the time of 2018, 19 and early 2020. They start with deep learning and they start watching Andrew Ng and so on like that.
Yeah, that's the founder of Coursera.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just saying that and start learning the mathematics behind machine learning. Now, not that as much as all those things are useful, but for someone that is going into data analysis, it's not a prerequisite.
Yeah.
It's just an addendum.
Yeah.
You get. So, like, it's fine if you know it is good. You get. But what you do,
even especially at that early stage, it's not something you really would want to bother yourself for because it gets to confuse you.
Yeah.
That early stage.
Exactly. Because, from what you said here now, the difference between a junior and a senior professional generally is there's the what, there's the why, and there's the how.
Yes.
A junior professional probably will know what, right? If you ask me, okay, what you need to do, right? I know. But a senior professional will know what and they'll know why and how to do them. Okay, let me put it this way. A junior professional can know what and how.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they don't usually know why. So there are different techniques of things to use. Like getting the job done is the first layer to putting the solution out there. But there are other things that over the years, like with years of experience, you know that you need to know why. The why you know is what will make you get and maybe like skyrocket your profit as a data team. So like maybe how many millions and billions of dollars, because you know why. You know why you should do this over this. You know why you should use DocDB. You know why you should use SQL at this time. You know why you should use Pandas. I'm just saying that the why now as a senior professional is what's the impact into the junior as in terms of mentorship, right? So this is part of the thing me personally, I'm trying to do in the data engineering group to create, and I try to like bring people from different parts of the world and also bring mentors that they are experienced in the space to like inculcate on, okay, this is how to do these things. Like I have expertise in machine learning, right? Particularly sport analysis and developer relations. But when it comes to data engineering, I'm just learning. We are all beginner in a particular field. So you can see someone here now talking about when you meet Messi, when you meet Messi now talking about football, he's a genius. But if you bring Messi to a space where we have the likes of Elon Musk and Bill Gates, he's not that smart. I might be smarter than him in that aspect because I'm in the tech space. So everybody is a beginner in something. So which is what I've tend to discover and trying to create that structure for even through DataFestAfrica. Lastly, there's what we call, like, we did a data camp partnership over the years now. So part of what we are doing is, as much as we are giving people the opportunity to learn for free through that's underrepresented group, right? Including female inclusive also. So to learn like through data camp for professional courses across data analysis, engineering, machine learning and AI, we are also trying to guide people in terms of structure that, okay, if you are a data scientist, these are the things you need to learn right now based on your knowledge. And these are the things you need to leave for now. Probably when you've gotten a job, you will extend your knowledge on these things, right? So things like this now is some crucial things we need to pay attention to as regards Africa.
I love the fact that you've mentioned community and even described the communities you've created, and to just ask directly, if people want to join such community, they reach out to you, right? Probably on LinkedIn or on Twitter.
Yeah, so I see, because a lot of people reach out to me. So so the thing is, we have a social presence, we have a brand. So if you go to Google now and type Data Community Africa, if you go to Google now and type DataFestAfrica, you see a lot of links. You see links to our website. You see then, because I've done the experiment before, then you see link to our LinkedIn, then you see link to our Twitter. So following our social media account from LinkedIn to Twitter to Instagram and other platform, you tend to like one way or the other, you see my tweet. So you start getting connected to the company, to the community, and you know where to be directed to over time. But if you want to connect to me directly, like my name is Gift Ojeabulu on LinkedIn and Twitter. You can search for me on Google also. You see several links, right? And some things I've done over the years.
That's incredible.
So you can just connect with me, and I tend to post content also. So probably if maybe you are not connected to me on LinkedIn to get into my DM, you can just comment on one of my content, like maybe on Twitter, on LinkedIn, and tag me. There's a high chance I'll respond. You get so.
All right, and let's talk about DataFest very quickly. Before we go now, how did DataFest come to be? We know DataFest, thousands of people turn up for DataFest year in, year out, and tell us, how long has this been on, and some origin stories.
Yeah. There's a lot of story around this.
So
I'm just summarizing it. Right? Like, to me, it's more of, I'll say it's a movement. So that's one of the things I do say. When people ask me that, what is DataFestAfrica? The first thing I say is a movement. So movement in terms of what? So as of 2021, that was in Q3, I posted on Twitter something. I said, I noticed that there are several content across the world generally from data analysis, data engineering, AI, machine learning, but with more focus on machine learning, AI, and data engineering as at that time. And I was like, there are a lot of people doing things, a lot of Africans actually doing a lot of things in this space, but nobody knows them.
Yeah, true.
Which is part of the reason why we're having this conversation. That was as at 2021 when I was working with CBB. I was like, I know several people because I've tended to interact over time, even when I was in school. I know some certain people that even when they relocated, I maintained conversation with them. I was like, okay, I think I can start a newsletter called ADC. That's A.D in short. It's the African Data Community Newsletter at that time. So the fun fact is I was quite very active on Twitter at that time. Like, I mean very active.
Okay.
As at that time, like, I do probably post close to like a thread of like, I think 4 to 5 a day. Yeah, like I was doing that like consistently. So the idea that brought that was, I noticed that I don't want to say extremely good, but I do a lot of things because of my knowledge in software engineering is an addendum, right?
Yeah.
So, but I noticed that I was not really getting reached out as at then, not 2021 now, far back like 2019 by recruiters. So, and I'm actually an ambivert, but a lot of times I'm not really a media person, not until recently. I just want to be in my space. And just
a lot of analytics professionals tend to be in that
exactly.
space.
I just want to be in my space and just build things. Yeah. So I thought about then it got done on me that, okay, I don't really know anybody in this space apart from my friend Rising. I just looked at it that, okay, how can I get into this space now? Then that was where the idea of posting on LinkedIn and Twitter came.
Awesome.
So I just started posting. So my goal was, I don't even have a particular like range. I just post online. So I noticed I was getting a lot of engagement, especially on Twitter. Then I decided to start a newsletter called African Data Community Newsletter, which like push out amplify the name of data engineers, AI engineers, machine learning engineers, and data scientists in this space across Africa. That's the underrepresented group now, including female inclusive, right? So from different parts of the world, the likes of Marlene, the likes of Rising, the likes of myself, there's this Keita guy and several people that are African descent that I met from that. So I just decided to start this newsletter. And fun fact, I noticed something that in just 4 to 5 months already, I had close to like over 1,600 subscribers.
Wow.
I had like from different parts of the world, actually. It was close to, I think, 36 countries.
Wow.
That's a fun fact. Nigeria, like Africa was like, I think 18, and it was like 6 US states, like states in the US.
Yeah.
So I was like, I didn't know this would go this way. Like, and I'm not even putting...
And it shows the knowledge gap that people were looking to bridge.
So when you go to a part, like when you want to solve a solution, there is just like, let me give an instance now, where there is no lights. When you bring light into the country, people celebrate and people shout. But if you are doing that maybe in America or Europe and all,
it's a normal thing.
It's a normal thing. So that was what was happening. Then I noticed that there's a gap and there's a need for this to be solved, So in that way,
and
like
that actually brought about DataFest.
Even before then.
Okay.
So I noticed something right in that newsletter in just 4 months. I actually got 2 sponsorship already.
Wow.
I got like a partnership with Nvidia and a company that was 2021 that partnered with me that paid close to $180.
Wow.
Just like for me to like post on the newsletter. And I was not even doing this for the money. You get, so I was like, there's a lot of gap that this needs to be filled. So from that orientation in my head, what I started doing is I started attending several tech events. A lot of people outside Twitter, they know me through tech events. So random tech events in terms of, so I attended.
And that's it for you, guys. Attend tech events. Please go ahead.
Attend tech events. Very important. So I started attending tech events and I noticed something that there are not a lot of data professionals in these tech events.
Yes, I noticed them too.
So you see software guys, you see design guys.
You see product guys. I come from the product world before it's coming into data analytics. So you see software, product,
even design,
security,
even blockchain sometimes, and some of these guys, right? Then I noticed that it seems data professionals are not really, for me, are not really here. I could interact with them more because I'm coming from the software engineering space. So when I want to have conversation, depending on depending on the topics are not, even though they are not really data related topics, right? I can just come in and blend with them. But it's not very easy because I know a lot of people come into the data analytics space that they are not even in the tech space. I have a computer science background. A lot of these guys are not even in the tech space. So they don't really have this knowledge of the tech space, like data structures and algorithm and so on, right? So I noticed something. Then I noticed that then one of the things I did was I posted on Twitter, which is where I'm going to now.
Okay.
I posted on Twitter that like data and AI people should be attending more tech events. So what I started doing in this newsletter is I started like picking several events that do
highlighting them.
Yes, highlighting them that do put like AI and ML as a subgroup among what they'll give a talk about and something. So I started doing this now. Myself, so to like put yourself as a leader in this space, you have to submit to be accepted. Nobody knows me.
Yeah.
So I tend to like refine my talk and I submit and get accepted. Then I make post on Twitter that, okay, I've gotten accepted now. Now I'll be giving a workshop or a talk or something. I want people to attend, you get. So how many people can we help get tickets? And this is a good conference. An example is Oscar Fest, right? I've done some couple of stuff with them, like Sustain Africa. So the conversation as regards me giving talk, that's for Oscar Fest, and I was invited to a leadership summit called Sustain Africa with my friend Rising, right? So we had this conversation and we were talking about, I made the likes of Anidi, and we were talking about how can we like, people were even asking me, like some data people that came that we need to have something like this, but for data professionals. So some people came to meet me and I was like, don't worry, we'll do it soon. But I had hope of nothing.
Interesting.
That's the funny thing. Like people came to meet me and they were like, Gifts, how can we feel you can do this? And I was like, wow, that's crazy. These people are thinking too highly of me as I dare. Like that was the thought.
This is impressive.
That was the thought. So I was like, don't worry, like very soon, before the end of next year, that's how I mentioned, even during my session, that we'll do it. So I just said that thing randomly, casually. I had nothing in my mind. So after the conversation at Sustain, where we were talking about sustainability in open source for data and AI, and we put down some strategy. With the emotions behind, when I was giving my talk, there are not really data and AI people there. And people that I talked about machine learning operations with DAGZOB and DVC. Yeah. I noticed that I had to go way below, like to start again, talking about classification, like the scratch.
Breaking it down.
Yes, because a lot of people are not really there yet. I was like, okay, these things should be improved from this perspective. So from my newsletter to attending this event. So I went to Twitter and I tweeted like, one day there'll also be an event that there'll be like, that'll bring together data scientists, machine learning engineer, AI engineer, data analyst, and so on, that people attend.
Impressive.
So that was the conversation that picked up everything.
Wow.
Yeah, and people started retweeting and be like, let's do it. Awesome. So from there, like, Ola came, David came, and several Okbe came, Ayo. So we are like the 4 to 5 guys that had conversation on the TL about it, that the conversation just led and we thought about, okay, let's start a group. Exactly. Let's just put a group together around this so that we can see that we will hold that conference. So at that point, we are not even thinking of Data Community Africa as an organization. Our aim was just to like reply to that tweet in terms of one day there will be an event like this. And we agreed and we were like, I remember that day in my head clearly. It was March 26, 2022. To tell you, I noted the date.
Yeah.
And because I remember I tweeted that tweet around like something around 1:23 p.m. That's too funny to tell you. It was out of emotion. I just tweeted that and I left Twitter.
Yeah.
And I came back and I noticed this is getting a lot of engagement. You know, I told you I tend to post on Twitter before. So people, my posts get engagement. So I was like, that was how the conversation came, that we started planning on, okay, let's do DataFestAfrica. How are we going to go in terms of sponsorship and everything? I posted again. Again, and several companies, like international companies from like my part, all of us, we brought several companies from our influence. Like for me, I brought Iterative AI, Acronis, InfoBeep. Okay, another thing I didn't mention was 1 month or 2 months before the event, I met a chief developer experience officer that's from Croatia.
Okay.
He came to Nigeria.
Okay.
We had a conversation. His name is, I'm trying to remember, I forgot it, Ivan. Okay. Right? So, fun fact, he told me that we're having a conversation. He said he see a lot of potential in me, that if I'll be holding an event this year, that he's promising to support me with at least $2,000. No jokes. He said that thing and I told him that I'm not even holding any events.
Yeah.
That thing, like that time, I don't have any plan of events in my mind.
The plan had not come to the mind.
I was like, I'm not even holding any event at the moment. It was just like, okay, but it feels like maybe if I'm interested in like holding an event and all, he wants to support with like at least $2,000.
Wow.
So it left my mind. I didn't even think of it. So when that conversation started and I reached out to him, and I just see that he supported and everything, even though he has left the company, he orchestrated everything and they supported DataFest and several companies that they were not at the conference, like international companies that they represented.
Which shows the value of such a conference and such a solution to a problem.
Things like that, we did an hackathon, we did a conference that same year. In less than, I think we started having the conversation that was March ending April. And it was from there we built the online, because I led everything around the online presence. Because I have the newsletter side already.
So you just have to
build exactly. Because I thought about it that, okay, I think I can handle this side better at the moment. I just volunteered that, okay, let me handle the community and media side, because I feel like I have...
That's your specialty.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I feel, right? So even as much as I was supporting with other things, right? So I kind of have some knowledge in software engineering also, which I also supported as regards the website, our building of our first website that we deployed. You get? So I was just doing, so I, personally from my end, I was just literally like testing the waters, doing several things and we started our Twitter to LinkedIn to Instagram, and that's how this
is such an incredible origin story.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've shared the story elsewhere, but hearing this for the first time to know how DataFest came to be is really giving me the chills, because it's really incredible to see how much ideas can come to life and impact millions of people, right? DataFestAfrica is the premier data analytics event in Nigeria, right? Even you have other people from outside the country, outside other areas in Africa coming into the country to attend the event. That's how big it is now. So thank you very much, Gift. It was incredible talking with you and sharing this knowledge with our audiences. So he has shared it all. If you are looking to grow in your career, you need to join the community. Thank you very much. Like we like to say, stay curious and keep questioning. But one thing you should do, this episode, you need to share with friends, share with colleagues, co-workers, people that will find this conversation interesting. And as you can hear from Gift, he had an idea and how everything came to be. And today it's a movement, right? So if you have a passion for something as well, please chase it, go for it. And thank you, Gift. But before we go, Gift, do you have any final advice for anybody listening to us or watching us today that you think would help them move their career further?
Yeah. So I will say this word. So I'll say, note your strengths. When you note your strengths, focus on that strength. And for everything you see that you need to improve on, probably I won't really call it weakness. For things that you are not really good at, just look for people that can complement that strength and collaborate with people and tend to move things forward from there. Another thing I would say is when you get an idea, don't overthink it. Don't overanalyze it. Don't even think about, there's lack of resources. The thing is, in the process of this idea is where you get more ideas.
Clarity.
Yes, exactly. That's what I would say. Clarity to like execute this thing and make things come to life.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Gift, once again. And you've heard it all. So thank you. You can follow Gift on his LinkedIn or Twitter profiles, as he has mentioned. X profile, right? We still call it Twitter because we're used to it.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, everybody, and see you in the next episode.
Yeah. Thank you.